Good to have you here. Hope your day has been good. I just been looking like this. All right, you are most welcome to this live stream where we're going to continue with the review of Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Please sit back, relax, and let us learn from this powerful book. So tonight we're going to be looking at chapter 8. Wow, we've come a long way. And chapter 8 is titled Decision, the Mastery of Procrastination, the seventh step to riches. Right. Accurate analysis of over 25,000 men and women who had experienced failure disclosed the fact that lack of decision was near the head of the list of the 30 major causes of failure. This is no mere statement of a theory. It is a fact. Remember that in the previous chapter, chapter 7, we examined the 30 major causes of failure based on the interviews that the author Napoleon Hill conducted with over 500 men and women in America, to understand why some of them succeeded and why some of them failed. So, these men and women agreed that the lack of decision was one of the top major causes of failure. In fact, it was one of the top 30 causes of failure. And this is a fact. Procrastination is the opposite of decision. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it next week. The time is not right. Please give me some more time. I'll do it next year. We're already in October. The year is almost ended. By the 1st of January, I will start. And then here comes the 1st of January. This year, the way it is going, maybe I should just start around April. The weather will be better by that time. And that is how they keep procrastinating. Before they know it, 1 year is gone, 5 years gone, 10 years gone, right? Right. So procrastination is the opposite of decision. It is either you are making decisions or you are procrastinating. And it is a common enemy that practically everybody must conquer, as in procrastination. Yes, we all must conquer it. You will have an opportunity to test your capacity to reach quick and definite decisions when you finish reading this book. And you are ready to begin putting into action the principles it describes. If you are not yet putting this into action, then I don't think there's any point attending these reviews, because it is all about action. It is all about taking steps. For the first time, my group members and I had our meeting in our mastermind group, based on the instruction that we got from this book. We had that meeting yesterday, and it was really, really a good one, right? It was a very good one. We were able to discuss our plans, the steps that we've been taking so far, based on what we've been learning from this book. And I was really, really impressed when my group members were sharing things that they've done already, things that they are planning to do, how this book has really changed their minds. Even the previous books that we have reviewed, The Richest Man in Babylon and Rich Dad Poor Dad. That is the essence of reading and taking time to review, so that we'll take practical steps towards our desired goals. Analysis of several hundred people who accumulated fortunes well beyond the $1 million mark disclosed the fact that every one of them had the habit of reaching decisions promptly and changing these decisions slowly. If and when they were changed, people who fail to accumulate money, without exception, as in no exception to this rule, these are people that have the habit of reaching decisions, very slowly, and they change them very rapidly. Do you understand that point? It takes them very long to reach one particular decision. Yes, it takes them a long time to reach a decision. And once they reach that decision, they are always quick to change it again. They change their minds very rapidly. They can't decide on something and stay put there and nurture it and see it grow. Like we've said before, this is one of the top 30 major causes of failure, decision or indecision. But those who are successful, they reach decisions faster and they change them slowly, if at all they need to change them. Very, very slowly. One of such people, one of Henry Ford's most outstanding qualities was his habit of reaching decisions quickly and definitely. It was reported here that even when Henry Ford was convinced to change his Model T car, which was regarded as of then as the world's ugliest car, he did not allow the opinions of people to get to him, to make him change his mind. He kept on manufacturing this car that was regarded to be the ugliest in the world, and he made great fortune just by doing that, until he got to the point when he decided on his own that he was no longer going to keep manufacturing this car. But then the fact that people were saying it, that people saw it as ugly, did not make him change his mind like that. And this is something that is difficult to do today. Not only today, even then. For a typical human being, we get easily influenced by what people say. And we're going to read a lot of that as we continue in this chapter 8. The ability to be firm is definiteness. I'm talking of Henry Ford now, made him successful. It brought him great fortune. If he kept on listening to people say, oh, this car is ugly, this one is not nice. Even when we read in one of the chapters that even when he wanted to produce a particular car in a particular kind of way that was not conventional, his engineers told him point blank that it was impossible. He stood on his word to say, do it anyway, find a way around it. It took them the first 6 months. It was more than 6 months, yes. It was more than 6 months before they could make a headway, just like a ray of light. The idea just dawned on them and they were able to do it. If he had not stood his ground, if he had taken the words of the engineers just like that, he wouldn't have achieved what he was able to achieve. The majority of people who fail to accumulate money sufficient for their needs are generally easily influenced by the opinions of others. They permit the newspapers and the gossiping neighbors to do their thinking for them. Opinions are the cheapest commodities on earth. Everybody has got an opinion, at least one opinion. And if you give people a chance, they will have an opinion about you. That is the truth. Even if you don't give them a chance, people will always have an opinion about you. But it is left to you whether to allow their opinions to influence your decisions every now and again. Everyone has a flock of opinions ready to be wished upon anyone who will accept them. If you are influenced by opinions when you should reach decisions, you will not succeed in any undertaking, much less in that of transmuting your own desire into money. If you are influenced by the opinions of others, you will have no desire of your own. See, people are going to be tossing you everywhere. Once they say this thing is good, you do it. Once they say it is bad, okay, it is truly bad. So you are not stable. You keep on changing your minds. And it doesn't matter who is giving this opinion. It is not important in the scheme of things. The only thing that matters is, what do you think? If you think that you want to go ahead, go ahead. Yes, go ahead. It doesn't mean that you may do it and you may not fail. But at the end of the day, you would have learned something that, okay, they were right? They were right. You should have listened to them. But then you learned a valuable lesson that, okay, this is not going to work this way. And the same thing is going to happen if they were wrong and you were right. If you eventually stick to your decision and then you do it, and then you get it right, you know for sure that, oh, after all, I'm right. Thank God I did not listen to them. Keep your own counsel when you begin to put into practice the principles described here. by reaching your own decisions and following them. Take no one into confidence except the members of your mastermind group. That is why in my own mastermind group, I am very, very meticulous when it comes to the people that we admit into the group, the people that we know, the people that we've been reading together over time, and that by now, not 100%, but to a large extent, we can determine one another's character. People that we are now beginning to have confidence in one another. That is the essence of the mastermind group, because sometimes you may be weary. Sometimes you want to reach a decision. You can't even find any trustworthy person. But if you have a mastermind group, in case you don't have one, you can apply to join mine. We may consider you, don't worry. Have a mastermind group. It is time you start building that connection with like-minded people. Because let me tell you, you cannot do life on your own. Discouragements will come from time to time. Sometimes you're not even sure, are you doing the right thing? But if you pick the brains of other people, you leverage their education, their experiences, and things like that, you just might be able to reach a decision faster. It doesn't mean that you rely on them and take their words hook, line, and sinker, but then they might be able to give you a good direction, right? So take no one into your confidence. Take no one into your confidence except the members of your mastermind group, and be very sure in your selection of this group, just like I said, that you choose only those who will be in complete sympathy and harmony with your purpose. Close friends and relatives may not even be in your mastermind group, because if you know that, well, they may see defeat in what you want to do, and sometimes it is not as if they want to hurt us. It is not as if they don't have good intentions towards us, but out of genuine concern. Imagine your son telling you now, oh, mommy, I want to be a skit maker. If it were to be 10 years ago, like, I want to be a comedian, I want to be making skits, be posting videos on social media, making people laugh. If you were a parent like 10 years ago, you'd have said, what's the matter with you? What's the meaning of that? When did you become a jester? I've never seen anybody who built fortune by being a skit maker, a comedian, things like that. And then you may want to discourage your son. If your son's decision is not strong enough, he may easily change his mind to say, it's true what mommy is saying. And that is how that gift will be killed in that child. And that is why the author is saying, even members of your own family may not be members of your mastermind group. Your mom may not be there, your siblings may not be there, because they may find it ridiculous that you want to do that thing that you think you want to do. They may be the ones to tell you, please don't waste your money, that business is going to fail. We don't want you to lose your money. We don't want you coming to us begging after you have lost all your capital in that business. So it is not that they don't mean well, but they don't have the kind of spirit that you have. They don't have that definiteness of purpose, that courage, that burning desire that you have, and they may not see it. All right? Thousands of men and women carry inferiority complexes with them all through life, because some well-meaning but ignorant persons destroyed their confidence through opinions or ridicule. Some may laugh at them. Look at this one. Want to become a skit maker. You're going to be poor. You know, how much do they earn? I'm talking of maybe doing so well for themselves. You have a brain and mind of your own. Use it and reach your own decisions. If you need facts or information from other people to enable you to reach decisions, as you probably will in many instances, acquire these facts or secure the information you need quietly without disclosing your purpose. So what this means is that you need facts and information. You can get this from people that you think are wiser than you, are more knowledgeable than you, without actually telling them why you need it, or without disclosing everything in full, Because even though they have the knowledge, they have the wisdom to share with you, they may discourage you. Some people have the knowledge, or some people have knowledge about something. They know all that they are supposed to know about a particular subject, but they have never put it into practice. They have never put such knowledge into practice. Maybe because they just have the head knowledge. Okay, this is how it should be done. But they have never practicalized it. And so they've not tested the worth of that thing. They've not tested, how well it can work, if I may put it that way. And so they discourage you that nobody has ever done it. Just because they have not done it, they thought that nobody has ever done it. And they think that you cannot be the first person to do it. So don't disclose all of your purpose. It is characteristic of people who have but a smattering or a veneer of knowledge to try to give the impression that they have much knowledge. They will tell you everything. This is how it should be. This is how it should be. Have they practiced it? No. Such people generally do too much talking and too little listening. Keep your eyes and ears wide open and your mouth closed if you wish to acquire the habit of prompt decision. If you check the thumbnail, this is actually the title. Keep your eyes and ears open, but keep your mouth shut. If you really want to reach your decisions faster, if you don't want to be easily influenced by the opinions of other people, because everybody will have an opinion. Sometimes when I check through social media and I see people bring their personal matters, for example, some genuinely, some, I don't know, maybe to chase clout, I don't know, and they are asking the general public for opinions on how they should relate with their husband, for example, or, how they should, something like that. And sometimes I'm asking myself, I go through the comment section and I am seeing like 1,000 different opinions. This one is saying, handle him with care, be gentle, ask him to forgive you. Another person is saying, no, men are egoistic. Don't listen to him. Don't let him do that to you. Another person is saying, well, go to church and pray. Somebody else is saying, move out of the house. Let him come and beg in your father's house. And you're having different opinions. And I'm asking myself, okay, so which one is this person going to pick now? You have brought your personal matters, your family matters to the general public. Now they are going to end up confusing you. Except you just brought it to chest clouds, like I said. You really don't want to take note of whatever they are saying. Because if you truly need help, you shouldn't take it to millions of people online, right? So they end up getting confused. So if you want to reach decisions faster, the wise thing to do is not to keep telling people here and there, oh, this is what I want to do. Help me. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? I used to do that. There was a time I couldn't make up my mind on my own when it comes to some important things, even some things that were not so important. I always wanted somebody's validation before I could do it. Yes. I would ask this person, what do you think? What do you think? So at the end of the day, I'll have conflicting opinions. I'll probably just stick to the opinion of the person that I feel, okay, I think this person is the most knowledgeable of them, or okay, this one sounds right. Or sometimes the one that already aligns with what I had in mind before. So that person just validated it. I'll just go for it, but not anymore. If I have an idea on something and I'm convinced that it is the right thing, I don't need anybody's validation. I don't need anybody's opinion. I do it. If I fail at it, I will learn a valuable lesson. And then I can try again using another strategy. But I don't seek anybody's validation, not anymore. I think I have learned enough, right? Those who talk too much, do little else. If you talk more than you listen, you not only deprive yourself of many opportunities to accumulate useful knowledge, but you also disclose your plans and purpose to people who will take great delight in defeating you because they envy you. The heart of man is desperately wicked. Who can know it, right? If these people are not a member of your mastermind group, they are not somebody that you've trusted, as in tested and trusted, then don't disclose all of your plans. You just never know. Somebody may take your plan, disguise as if they are giving you wisdom or ideas, and then they go ahead of you to execute your plan. Imagine you trying to develop a product, you're still in the process of finalizing it before you launch it, and then let it out into the market. And the same person who you share this idea with went ahead of you to launch this product. How would you feel? Right? So keep your mouth shut. You don't know who is envying you. Some may even give you some may even give you wrong advice to discourage you, and they go ahead to execute that same thing. We've seen so many examples like this, right? Let one of your first decisions be to keep a closed mouth and open ears and eyes. Keep your mouth closed. Don't talk too much. If you talk too much, you're going to say what you're not supposed to say. You're going to serve into the hands of your enemies, right? And it is not written on anybody's face that, this is my enemy, except those who have openly come to confess that, oh, I am your enemy. There is a reason why you have one mouth, two eyes, and two ears. So one mouth means talk less, look more, observe more, listen more, right? Don't talk more than you listen. Don't talk more than you observe. Now let's go to this very profound story about how America gained freedom. Tell the world what you intend to do, but show it first. This is the equivalent of saying that deeds are not and not words are what count most. So of telling people, this I want to do, this is what I want to do, this is my plan. Why not keep it to yourself? When it matures, let them say it. Then they'll say it. They'll be like, oh, so you've been planning this thing. It's better that way. Take them by surprise. So we'll look at the story of America, which is titled Freedom or Death on a Decision. This is a very profound story. How many of you know that America was actually colonized by Britain? Yes. America, that is so powerful today, used to be a colony of the Great Britain. Some men fought tooth and nail, putting their lives on the line to gain freedom for the powerful America that we all know today. The value of decisions depends upon the courage required to make them. The great decisions, which served as the foundation of civilization, were reached by assuming great risks, which often meant the possibility of death. Lincoln's decision to issue the famous Proclamation of Emancipation, which freed slaves in America, came at a very great risk. His life was on the line. Another person that did this, and it actually cost his life. It cost the life of Abraham Lincoln, but he was courageous to say, if I go with it, I go. Another person that took a very strong decision, that made a very strong decision, was Socrates. Another one was General Robert E. Lee. I don't want to go into details, right, because of time. But the greatest decision of all time, as far as any American citizen is concerned, was reached in Philadelphia on 4th July 1776, when 56 men signed their names to a document they well knew would bring freedom to all Americans or leave every one of the 56 hanging from a gallows. So some men came together, 56 of them, to challenge the British soldiers who were harassing them, who were tormenting them at that time. They did not mind losing their lives, even when they were warned, seriously warned, of the consequences of their actions. Two of these men were Adams and Hancock. They did not give up. They were prepared to die. They were so courageous that they were going to gain freedom for America. And even if they wouldn't gain freedom for America, they were prepared to do it. How many of us will be willing to do that today? When I was reading the story of Esther in the Bible came to me. When our people were being harassed and were ready to destroy all of our people, the Jews. And at that time, she went on to the king. Before she went to the king, which was not in custom with the traditions, which did not align with their custom at that time, she said to herself, if I perish, I perish. I will go into the king. I will talk to him about the impending doom that would come upon my people. Even though I am not supposed to do this, even though I'm not supposed to go into the inner chamber to meet the king without some customary things being done, but I will go. If I perish, I perish. She fasted. And then she summoned the courage. And then she went to the king. That courage brought freedom to her people. Her uncle Mordecai would have been killed by somebody called Haman. She summoned courage and saved her uncle's life. If we are not courageous in life, we're going to be missing out on a lot of opportunities. Like we read in Rich Dad Poor Dad, there are some people in life called the Chicken Little. They are very, very unstable. They cannot make up their minds on anything. They are always fidgeting. They always see doom in everything. Heaven is always falling on them. I can't go further. What if I fail? What if it doesn't happen? But people like Adams and Hancock that fought for the freedom of America put their lives on the risk. Put their lives at risk. And eventually they did not die. Eventually they gained freedom for America. And look at what American citizens are enjoying today, just because some men fought for them. Let me check the time. All right, let me go to the last part. I've summarized the story of America. Right? By decisions made in a similar spirit of faith, like this men, Adams and Hancock, made. And only by such decisions can people solve their personal problems and win for themselves high estates of material and spiritual wealth. The same spirit with which this men fought is the same spirit that we all need to fight for anything now, whether it is spiritual, whether it is marital, whether it is financial, whether it is academic, whatever it is. It is that spirit of courage and faith. Without it, nobody can achieve anything in life, and that is the blatant truth. Analyze the event that led to the Declaration of Independence in America and be convinced that the American nation was born of a decision created by a mastermind consisting of 56 men. Note also, with great personal benefits, that the power that gave America its freedom is the self-same power that must be used by every individual who becomes self-determining. This power is made up of the principles described in this book. In the story of the Declaration of Independence, it will not be difficult to detect at least 6 of these principles. Number 1, desire. Number 2, decision. Number 3, faith. Number 4, persistence. Number 5, the mastermind. And number 6, organized planning. These 6 principles are actually the first 6 steps to riches. So the same way it brought America freedom, the same way these principles can bring you enormous wealth if you apply them. Throughout this philosophy will be found the suggestion that thoughts backed by strong desire has a tendency to transmute itself into its physical equivalent. In your search for the secret of this method, do not look for a miracle, because you will not find it. There is no miracle to this thing. There are principles to it. If you follow the principles, the principle of courage, of faith, of a burning desire, of determination, of organized planning. Have a plan to back up your idea. These laws are available to every person who has the faith and the courage to use them. They may be used to bring freedom to a nation or to accumulate riches. Those who reach decisions promptly and definitely know what they want, and they generally get it. So you must be definite in your decision. That is the summary of this chapter 8. Stop changing your mind every now and again. Stop allowing other people to influence your decisions. Don't allow them to keep making you change your mind. And the last story that was told here is the story of one man that we may not know him, but it is possible that you know his work. His name was Fred Smith, and he was the founder of Federal Express, what we'll know today to be FedEx. If you are somebody that sent packages from one city to another, one country to another, you must have used FedEx before to courier your package, to send your package, right? This guy had every reason to back up, to back off or back out, to change his mind. Because when he was at Yale University, he actually challenged his professor when his professor said that air freight would be the wave of the future and would be the primary source of revenue for the airlines, right? And this guy argued that no, there should be a separate airline dedicated to carrying packages, documents, and other goods, apart from normal airlines that human beings board. It was argued with him, and then he made up his mind to do it. People were not even ready to give him capital. The capitalists in America at that time did not believe in his dream because they didn't see any future in it. But this guy went ahead to raise $96 million, if I'm not mistaken, $91 million, right, in capital to finance his untested idea. He believed so strongly in it. There were some people that eventually believed in him, and they dropped their money. Competing airlines at that time tried to stop him using the lawsuit, but he was undeterred. Even in the first few years of operation, he made great losses. No profit whatsoever. Instead, he incurred losses. Investors were ready to back out. They were ready to take this company from him, but he did not give up. He made up his mind that he would always collect, packages from one city to another, deliver them within 24 hours. And that was exactly what he did. Even though it was not yielding profit, he was testing his ideas little by little, despite the losses, which the investors blamed on Smith, and even talk of removing him and taking over the company. Smith did not lose faith. His courage never faltered. He hired experts, his mastermind. If you don't belong to a mastermind group, you are missing. You need a mastermind group, people that you can rub minds together. Some of them will have opportunities that you can tap into. Some of them will open your eyes to opportunities. Somebody might say something like in my, in my mastermind group yesterday, somebody was thinking of a business idea, and another person said, see, think about it very well. I think the government has banned this kind of business. You don't want to start having issues every now and then. That is what I am talking about. So with the help of his mastermind group, they worked day and night to solve operational problems. This resulted in Federal's revenues reaching $75 million in the next fiscal year with a profit of $3.6 million. It did not give up. Opposition is going to come. But if your decision is not firm, even without people's opinions and interference, you're going to give up at the face of challenges. You need to be tough. You need to make up your mind. You want to do a business. That business is not yielding profit in the first 1 year. And then you are giving up on it to say, oh, this is not the kind of business I should be doing. Then you jump onto another one. There's still no profit. And then you drop it. In 5 years, you have attempted 10 businesses. And you have not succeeded at a single one. Because anything that is enduring in life needs to be nurtured. It needs to be nurtured. Give it time. Be patient. While you are doing it, don't hesitate to change your strategies, to try out different things, to seek knowledge, to seek advice from knowledgeable people from your mastermind group. But the fact that it doesn't work in the first, second, fourth, fifth, 10th year does not mean that it is not going to work. That is the truth. If you are patient enough and if you are convinced, and maybe sometimes we change our minds because we are not convinced in the first place. Probably it is a guesswork. And nobody can achieve anything in life by guessing. No. You waste 2 years guessing. There is a part in this book that says that it is a problem with the youth of today. And this is one fundamental problem that needs to be addressed in school. Oh my God. Trying to see if I can find it. It is one, yes, indecision is a habit that usually begins in youth. The habit takes on permanency as the youth goes through school and even through university or college without definiteness of purpose. It is indecision that will make somebody to go and take up any job, any course rather, at the university. Let me just take it. It's better than staying at home. I advise my students as often as I can that if this course that you're doing is not what you should be doing, it is not too late to back out. Why would you want to waste 4, 5, 6, 7 years of your life wasting school fees on things that do not align with your passion, that do not align with your purpose in life? Why? Just because you want to call yourself a graduate, and then you graduate, there is no alignment with what you have studied at the university and your life purpose. No alignment. And then you do that because you've not been able, you are not definite in choosing that course. Now, when you graduate, you will now take any job that is offered you. Because from the beginning, you are not sure of what you want. You will take a job that you don't enjoy doing. You feel stuck. You grumble every time it's Monday morning. I'm going to that office again. You are not happy. Do you want to feel stuck all the days of your life? I think if you are an adult, you are an adult, and this is probably too late for you, please guide your children well. Let them do any course that aligns with their passion, their life's purpose. Life is more enjoyable that way, if you ask me. It's more enjoyable that way. Doing what you love doing, feeling fulfilled. It's not even about the money. It is about your fulfillment. It is about your happiness. Right? But if somebody misses it from a young age, it is always very difficult to correct. It is only a few people that can say, well, I know that I've wasted 4 or 5 years at the university studying a course that I shouldn't have studied. Okay, now let me drop it. Let me now go and register for another course, or let me now go for, a short program in what I love doing. And then they start pursuing that and leave the past behind. Not everybody can do that. And there's an advice for educational institutions now to start testing that definiteness of purpose in young ones. You sit them down and ask them, why do you want to study this course? Is there a future in it for you? Or you're just taking it because your parents said, take it. These days, it's not about what you studied. It's about what you study. It may not really be about what you study, but at the same time, it's also about what you study. You want to enjoy it. Life is too short or life is too long to just be dragging yourself along, feeling stuck. I mean, it's not worth it. So make up your mind, know what you want from the beginning. If you are doing that business, put in all your energy, be courageous, have faith, have that burning desire. Write out your plan on how you're going to see that business grow, how you want to see it succeed, and follow it through. In chapter 7, we learned about organized planning. Let me just read this last part. In chapter 7 on organized planning, you will find complete instructions for marketing every type of service. You will also find detailed information on how to choose the employer you prefer and the particular job you desire. Not just taking it because there is no job in town. Let me just manage it. That's how some people get stuck. Let me just manage it. I will find another job. And then 10 years, they are still there. They are still managing it. These instructions will be of no value to you unless you definitely decide to organize them into a plan of action. So be definite in your decision. If at all you have to change your decision, shouldn't be every now and again. Think through about it before you pursue it. Thank you very much for joining this live stream. I hope you learned something. Don't also forget the title of the thumbnail that says, keep your eyes and ears open but keep your mouth shut. Don't talk too much. Don't reveal your plans to just anybody, right? Always be cautious. Everybody is a suspect in life. You just don't know the heart of the next person. So don't be too trusting. Don't talk too much. Know who you're going to seek advice from, so that you don't seek advice from chicken littles who are going to discourage you at the slightest opportunity that they have. Just because they couldn't do that thing, they will discourage you from doing it. Who tells you that you cannot be the first person to do it? Who tells you that it cannot be a novel idea? Who tells you that? All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate every one of you. I can't see any like on this live stream. Please give it a thumbs up before you leave. Share your thoughts in the comment section. Feel free to subscribe to this channel. Please subscribe. Thank you so much. My name is Olaide Agbaje, also known as First Lady. And on this channel, I inspire you to live intentionally. We'll meet again tomorrow by God's grace. We've come to the end of chapter 8. And tomorrow we're going to be looking at chapter 9, a very important topic that says persistence, the sustained effort necessary to induce faith. And this is the 8th step to riches. I'll see you tomorrow by God's grace. Until then, be intentional. Bye-bye.